G'day, let's have a look at this Knipex tool roll. So this is a polyester fabric on the outside, really nice feel to it, and it seems pretty sturdy, so I don't think this will wear out anytime soon. We unroll it, and there we go, we've got a whole set of pliers. So this is an 8-plier set. Some of these sets do come with screwdrivers as well, so there's 3 little pockets in here to fit screwdrivers in, and then that'll roll up as well. And then we've got this bigger pocket on the side here as well for other things. But I've just got the pliers here, so we'll just have a look at these. These are all the chrome plated ones with the comfort grip from Knipex. So they've got this really nice grip, 2-tone. The blue is a slightly softer plastic to get that extra little grip. So just comparing it, I've got these other pliers here. Also, these are the VDE insulated up to 1000 volts. These pliers here are actually bigger, so these are the 180 millimeters, whereas these ones are 160. But comparing them, you can see the pliers are bigger, but the grips are also quite a bit beefier on this VDE insulation. And then we've also got these dipped ones as well from Knipex that they do. So this is really nice, just a sort of simple, a lot thinner grip for that. All right, so let's look at these pliers. So the first ones, these are just combination pliers. So again, 160 millimeters. So these are on the smaller side. But very nice tool. Then we've got the insulation strippers. So these ones have a little spring inside. So this is brand new, so straight out of the factory. They have this little bit, they're a little bit loose, so they do open up a bit, but then they kind of stop on their own, but you can also open them up a little bit more. So I'm not sure if that's a design feature or just because they're brand new and this hinge just isn't worn in and there's just a bit more resistance there. But these wire strippers are really nice. We can see that on the front there, it's got that cutting edge, and it squishes it in, and then you've got these little wheels here to set the thickness of the cable. So let's say we want to strip that thickness, so that's the actual thickness of the core of the cable. We set that wheel, lock it in place, and then every time we do it, it's always going to go to that. So I can do a quick example. I've just got some cable here, so this is quite thin core. Get the focus there. So make this pretty small. So pull it, and that's it, and it just strips that really nicely. And then you can just put it in again and strip it a bit more. And quite a lot of these tools here have the side cutters as well. So especially the combination pliers, they've got these really nice side cutters. Very, very smooth and very sharp. I mean, these are brand new, so you would expect them to be, but absolutely no problem there at all. And again, you do that, grab the strippers and pull it. So these strippers come in really handy if you're working inside an electrical box or somewhere that's confined and you can't get your normal sideways ones in. You can just come in with this. So say that's just sticking out, you just come in with these, grab it from the top and then pull. And then strip that. All right, then these next ones are just your long nose pliers, and they've got that side cutter there as well. So again, really nice and sharp there as well. And just a little bit of a longer nose. Moving on, we've got another long nose pliers, but these ones have that flat edge on top and a little bit of an elongated one as well. So that can just be useful. Perhaps if you're working with multiple cables, you can grab it from the top and then twist it. You've just got that little bit of a bigger, grippier area. The thing is as well is actually to show the comparison between these two. They've got this really nice serrated sort of edge here, just for extra grip. So whatever you're gripping, that will grip it very well, but it will leave some marks. So depends on what you're working on. Sometimes that might be an issue, sometimes that might be fine. All right, these are another long nose pliers, but they have that round edge. There you go. So I don't really use these much, but with that round, what you can do is you can bend some wire around and make really nice loops. So this can be used for jewelry making applications or crafts or anything like that. So to do that, I've just got a little bit of copper wire here. You just grab it on the end there and rotate it. And then you can make these really nice little loops, and you can see how round that is. So if you want a bigger loop as well, you just start down the bottom a little bit further down, and you can do that. So you can also do that with these other ones, but it's a lot harder to get it actually round. So just for comparison there, get that to focus, there we go. Let me know what you use these for. I don't use these too much. Awesome, then we've got another flat nose pliers here. So these are the needle nose ones as well. So that head is just a lot longer than these other ones. Or maybe not a lot, but it is longer, as you can see there. But the whole profile is just a lot thinner. So this is for reaching into a lot smaller areas where you need to reach in and grab whatever thing's there. So these are really nice, and that bottom there, or the inside of it, is all flat. It doesn't have that little grippy texture machined into it. So this can be used for a lot more precise work and won't leave any marks. And you can see that hat closes really nicely all the way down. Pretty much leaves no gap anywhere there. So some cheaper pliers, what you see is when this closes, it doesn't actually close evenly. But Knipex obviously is a very good quality tool, so all of their tools, there is a little bit of a gap there at the bottom, but the reason that's done is so the front, you've got the most force at the front, and you don't actually grip onto something here, but you've always got that force in the end. So when you grab something in the end, you can apply all that force onto that point. I think these ones will be the same, so we can have a look. There's a very little slit there, but you can see right at the end is where they grip. Whereas these ones here pretty much grip evenly or close evenly all the way down. So it's just not focusing all that well. There we go. Alright, then we just have the two cutting ones. So we've got these end cutters here. So these are the high leverage end cutters, which just means that the handle's a little bit longer, or this bit here is a little bit longer. And that hinge, if you can see that hinge is just placed as close to where the cutting's actually happening as possible. So what you do is you minimize that space between here and the hinge, and you maximize the space between the hinge and the end of where you're actually holding it. So that'll just give you the maximum leverage possible. So, I mean, obviously these will have no issues cutting anything. You can see that sideways cut. Look how clean that is. Alright, and then we just have the normal diagonal cutters as well. So these aren't high leverage, these are just the normal ones. They're a little bit tough actually. They're probably the toughest ones to turn out of all these, but as you use them, these will wear in and become much nicer and easier. So again, very easy to cut there. I've got some thicker wire here. So same as that, it shouldn't have any problem at all. Look at that, just super nice. And I think all of them will pretty much do the same thing, cut this really well. These ones definitely do struggle a little bit more because they're just not designed primarily for cutting, whereas the other ones are. Let's have a look at these ones as well. Yeah, so what happens here is as you push it, it's got a pretty smooth cutting edge there, so it pushes the cable forward, and it just cuts the bottom of it quite okay, but the top doesn't do that well. So you got to push, you got to put a lot of pressure on the cable this way towards that hinge there to prevent it from sliding. Whereas these side cutters, I'm not sure if they come in a slightly different action, but they don't have that issue. They just grip a lot better. That cable just doesn't really move around as much. Alright, that's pretty much it. That's what's inside this Knipex tool roll. So there's links down below for this whole roll and also for these individual ones as well, if you want to check that out. Really, really nice tools.